So this form and what we provide the instructions for is not only all the data in regards to the properties that are available, but we also provide the documentation that is required to be eligible for this process. And that's submitting what's called a notice of intent. This can be submitted electronically directly to the foreclosure trustees. You can ask them any question you want. Doesn't mean they have to answer them. They're probably not going to, but you have to submit this within 10 days of the actual foreclosure sale taking place. This notice is non-binding. You can submit as many of these as you like in regards to as many properties as one likes, and one is not required to purchase it. This notice of intent does not include any financial ability to acquire said property. Essentially, it expresses one's intent to buy, not your ability to purchase. Again, is there any advantage to submitting this on the first day versus the 15th day? The answer is absolutely not. You can submit it at any time in any way that is most convenient for, well, everyone here. But I said the term prospective owner occupant, that's somebody that wants to actually occupy the property. Not quite, actually, but it is defined within the law. It just means a natural person that they intend to occupy the property within a certain number of days. But there is a little caveat within the law, says a prospective owner occupant shall not be in violation of this section if there's any reason that they can't move into it. Notice how none of these say, including being a California nonprofit, one does not need to be a resident within the state of California. One can live anywhere within the United States and own a California nonprofit. I do strongly recommend, and it takes a day or two to open a California nonprofit to get recognized by the IRS. That can take several months. But again, one does not have to have the tax ID number from the IRS to be recognized as a nonprofit to start. One just has to be recognized by the state of California. It takes a day or two, and within the next week or so, I'm going to have somebody be presenting on the subject within the Facebook group afterauctionbid.com. So eligible bidder is most often an eligible nonprofit corporation based in California, which is, again, that's a California nonprofit with an address within California. That can be a lot of things, including a PO box, essentially, whose primary activity is the development and preservation of affordable rental housing. I do want to emphasize that if one acquires a property, as I'll talk about some of the ones that I've acquired as well, there are no deed restrictions. There's no volume restrictions. There's no time restrictions. I can buy on day one. I can sell on day two, buying under market with sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars of instant equity. I can sell it on day two for anything that I want. There's no occupancy restrictions. There's no sales restrictions. So again, I can sell at any time imposed upon any subsequent sales of the property when purchased by a California nonprofit. So additional questions or concerns? Can the winning bidder at the foreclosure sale bid against me? The answer is no. Even if somebody showed up to the courthouse steps and they bought it, they are ineligible to buy this. My money trumps theirs, as they are a for-profit company, an LLC, a REIT, or a hedge fund. Is there a penalty for not funding or not placing the bid? The answer is also no. I can submit as many notices as I like, and if I don't bid after submitting these, there's no consequence and no money required when submitting this notice of intent. To cost me nothing. There's no down payment. There's nothing. And if one actually submits an actual bid that takes place in the form of certified funds at the end of the timeline, what happens if you don't win? The trustee immediately returns your funds. That's as complicated as it gets. They don't even cash your check. Is there anything stopping from somebody again submitting a lot of them? No, do as much as you like, especially if one is a nonprofit. Are there third-party biddies? Are third-party bidders not bidding on the courthouse steps as a result of this law? Is everyone now doing this? The answer is, of course, no. Properties are still selling on the courthouse steps, but quite honestly, the companies and entities, the REITs, the hedge funds, the LLCs that were purchasing on the courthouse steps, not only still are, but they're not engaging in the process that I'm talking about. Not because they don't know about it. They do, but they're ineligible. And their funding and financing does not allow them to purchase as nonprofits. So this is an opportunity designed explicitly for investors such as myself, and of course, prospective owner occupants as well, to create some affordable housing. And can, of course, financing be used to purchase? The answer is, of course, yes. But it's very difficult because we're still talking about essentially certified funds taking place as the form of one's bid.
Wow.
So my contact information is right here with my email address, matt@afterauctionbid.com, and my direct phone number. I actually need to update it because that's my old number. I apologize about that. I did post it in your group though.
Cool.
So that is available there, and I will post it in other places.
So how long has this been available to investors generally?
A little bit over a year.
Okay. Why do you
So
think
this
that?
is a very, very new, this is essentially the newest way to acquire property, especially within the state of California. You want to dive in and look at some of them, and we'll talk about it as
Let's
we go
do that.
through?
It's amazing that the hedge funds and stuff haven't gone there yet, and the fact
It's
they
not
probably
that
will.
they have an inability to, is traditionally their financing doesn't allow them to, let's say, fund a nonprofit, because we said, how the hell can this be profit? How do I do this, especially as nonprofit? I want to make profits. Well, quite honestly, my LLC does fund and gives a loan to my nonprofit. And sometimes as these things can be turned over very quickly, I do want to mention that if my LLC does loan money to the nonprofit in which I'm involved, well, usury limits do not apply because it is a business purpose loan. So I can loan that money at extremely high interest rates, sometimes hundreds of percent of interest, and that is 100% legal. While the nonprofit would remain non-profitable, my LLC, of course, can absorb the vast majority of that and would be paying taxes only on the interest in which it's receiving. And can can somebody that has, let's say, an IRA, can they loan money to a nonprofit? The answer is, of course, yes. Loaning to their own, that's when we go into self-dealing, and that can be problematic. Please talk to one's accountant, as I'm not giving legal or tax advice, as I do want to emphasize that, especially today.
Yes.
But we said, let's get into and let's talk. And Dave, you're expected to give some feedback too.
Nathan, go ahead, Nathan.
So quick question is there any concern? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay. So is there any concern that like it kind of seems like these are sort of backdoor approaches? Is there any concern that those back doors will be closed, or there?
No, the law has
regulation that will come in.
No, the law has actually been put into effect going to 2030. So it's going to be around for a very long time. It was originally 2025. It's already been extended. It is doing everything that it was intended to. And what I mean by that is it's providing opportunity for others when it was not there previously. Companies like the REITs, the hedge funds, and the LCs, they have a fiduciary duty to sell properties for as much as they possibly can. Whereas an individual, myself, in the business of course, affordable housing and providing opportunity to others, I can buy properties and actually sell them sometimes very quickly, and doing so, selling it for less than what the property's worth, a quick sale price. And in doing so, provides a little bit of room for others down the line to be able to perhaps build affordable housing, to be able to provide housing for first-time homeowners, you name it. There's individuals I know, there's at least in the last couple months, I think it was the last 2 months, about 15 houses have been purchased by individuals that have never done this before through our website. And I'm very, very proud of that. And some of whom, many of which are friends. I've essentially done zero advertising in regards to this website. It's very new, to be very honest, as Dave is also aware. But I'm not looking to make this the biggest website that are out there. I've made it available to some friends and some people within this industry that are always good individuals. So we're not looking to try to get this thing as big as possible and get as many subscribers. Again, like I have for many years, I make my money by being an investor, but we've made this available to others. So you guys want to see what we have?
Yeah, let's do it.
You got it. All right. So we're going to be doing some updates as we always. So of course, just how it works. This is the basic explanation as to submitting the notice of intent, the qualifications as to how one may be eligible. So we already went over. And of course, some very basic descriptions as how to review title, estimating home values and repairs, determining financing. But hey, we got some professionals here. So let's go to the main part of the website, which is the actual listings. And of course, we have a lot of people online right now, so this is a little bit slower than it would be otherwise. But these properties, again, already went to sale. There is no redemption. There is no homeowner that's going to come in and save the property or do something else. This is what I pitch as going down to the track and trying to pick the winning racehorse after the race has already taken place. Because I am going through via this website, as we've taken all the sales results from many different auctioneers that are out there in every single county that's out there and consolidated them to one place with certain information. And I can see like this property over in Oxnard that went to sale for $285, $401, but the property value is over 511. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And there are, what we make available for purchase is the, let's see, where it's not image not available, but of course I can just go on Google Maps, Zillow, whatever else. I have 45 days to do this, 15 days to submit my notice of intent. So I can call local realtors and get their opinion of this. If you're like living in somewhere in the Midwest and you think this is not a $510,000 property, it actually is, especially in Southern California. And we can look at all the comps and just do anything we could possibly want to do. I can go talk to people there. And again, I'm not a debt collector. I don't need to do any disclaimers, disclosures, and no licensures involved because I am literally a third party just looking to do it. And why this went to sale, keep in mind, it does not matter to me, as all I care about is that it did go to sale.